Hey everybody, it is Simmer Tea. We are going to jump right into the Cult or Commune Challenge, which will be the series I am doing here on YouTube. The story starts off with this little girl named Sadie England. Sadie lives in the town of Willow Creek. She is a child. She has a businessman father and an author for a mother. And everything in her life is pretty basic. It's a bit too basic for her liking. She has always known she's not really into the typical suburban lifestyle and finds everything about it quite boring. She's also always had this sneaking suspicion that she was smarter than everyone around her, including all the adults. But even though she thought she was smarter than them, she enjoyed being around them. It was really good for her to kind of get a feel for how people react to her and what behaviors they like about her. She was always quite the collector and very outdoorsy. And even as a child, always had a group of other children following her. She's always been very charismatic and a leader. Even her childless neighbors, Bob and Eliza Pancakes, enjoyed having her over, although sometimes things did go missing when she was around. By the time she was a teen, she was prolific in getting exactly what she wanted and portraying a certain image of the perfect daughter. She was always helping out around the house. And because she was so intelligent, keeping up her good grades was really easy for her. She was very skilled in interpersonal relationships. She could start a fight with a girl in her friend group and have all her other friends take her side. Manipulation just came really easy to her as well. By the time she reached young adulthood, she came into her own. She had a good idea of what she wanted to do with her life and also co-opted the flower child aesthetic. She was, however, a hot-headed, creative kleptomaniac and had the aspiration of being a muser because she loved playing the guitar. After she graduated high school, she moved to the city of San Myshuno and bought a tiny patch of land. She spent the majority of her money on the actual land itself, and that left her with very little for housing or any objects, but that was fine with her because she had the plan of starting a commune and wanted everything to be as simplistic as possible. And of course, Sadie would not have a 9-to-5. She would just make do by fishing or finding things around the city. She knew she needed to get people to join her in her commune because there's no fun in being in a single person commune. So she enjoyed every opportunity that people came by so she could focus in on young adults and show off her charisma and charm. Unfortunately for Sadie, everyone in this group was pretty stable. The only two young adults were married and expecting a child, and the idea of moving into a shack essentially in the middle of the city didn't really speak to them. She had to use public restrooms in the city in order to get by. She only had a bed, a grill, and a guitar at home. but the bathrooms were conveniently located to a place where she could find posters that sold really well. She really wanted to just make money by playing the guitar. So if somebody was already playing the guitar in the middle of the city square, she would just talk to them and distract them. In doing this, she met the first person that she really set her sights on, named Sadie. She was also a young adult who moved to the city in search of a less conventional lifestyle and had big dreams, and everything that Sadie was telling her sounded amazing. It didn't hurt that Sadie and her seemed to be very attracted to one another. Once they had their first kiss, she was pretty much on board with joining Sadie immediately. And even though Sadie spoke a lot about individuality and not conforming, she did influence a lot of Sari's attire once she joined her. And she also explained to her that they both couldn't be out there playing the guitar, that Sari needed to stay behind and garden because that's where the real money would come from for them to grow their commune. She wasn't a big fan of gardening, but she would do just about anything for Sadie. Sadie really enjoyed being able to express herself creatively and have somebody back at the lot to run things and protect their belongings. Sadie was kind of bummed that she wasn't playing the guitar as much anymore, but did enjoy the commune and what she believes her and Sadie were building. She also took over a lot of the scavenging duties that Sadie used to do. One day after performing, Sadie met a man named Don Lothario, and they got to chatting. Don was having a lot of issues at home with his girlfriend due to infidelity, and Sadie was able to explain to him that she didn't believe that humans were meant to be monogamous and that, polyamory and polygamy was really the way to go. Everything Sadie was telling him sounded amazing and perfect, and he couldn't agree more. And also the idea of getting to leave behind the mess he created back home sounded really nice. Sadie thought having a man join the commune was the smartest next step, and he wasn't a terrible looking guy, and so he might be able to actually help them grow. Dawn was absolutely enamored with her, and their first kiss literally felt like they were floating, and he had never experienced anything like that before. It didn't take much to convince Dawn to join her and Sari. And while he could not take all the household funds to join the commune, he did get to bring a little bit of money, which was nice.